and
Okay.
then I'll open the webinar. Okay, webinar's open.
Okay.
Nope, there's nobody over there.
Okay.
Jeez, and I thought I was gonna be late. Bots and I went and saw one of our semi-expelled kids yesterday. We ended up going to the grocery store and buying groceries for them. No food.
Nice.
No food.
Are you recording this?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
See if we can get Chris here and. Oh, you have one of these.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess Greg's not coming.
Oh, cool.
Just got him in the mail, I think.
Oh.
Charity says she's waiting to be let in.
Okay, I told it to go live and it was,
Okay.
where did everybody go?
I don't know.
Did they give up just as I went
You
live?
said she was going to retry. She said, waiting to be let in, I'll try again. So she must have disconnected.
It just gave me the option to let them in and they
Okay.
disappeared. Greg and
Oh,
there were at least two. Yeah, if they use the link, it should pop them right into it. But if they try to use the link in the agenda, they will not. Because that's the attendee link, not the panelist link.
Brittany said she's trying to get in too, and it's not letting her. Is she on there?
No. What do we got going on then?
Silence my phone. I am technically working now. So.
Yeah.
We got somebody phoning in.
I think it's Charity.
Okay. That person's in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry about that. The Zoom wasn't really working, so I had to call in.
Did you try?
And I think it's my devices.
Okay.
So I don't have my school board computers anymore, and it always worked through the Chromebooks. But my I'm trying to use my phone, and it's just not working. And I've had that problem before. So.
Oh, Greg's on too. So okay, we've got three now, so we can do it.
Sorry about that. It just having some issues here.
That's okay.
Okay. So are we ready to go ahead and start?
Yeah. Do you need me to share the agenda with you or anything, Charity? Or
No,
do you
I have it in front of me.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
I have it in front of me.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we'll call the meeting to order.
Okay.
And if we could do a roll call.
Yes. Trustee Giroux.
Here.
Trustee St. Germain. Trustee Earps.
Here.
Trustee Pomponio. And Trustee Robinson.
Here.
And you are call-in. I'll make sure I note that. Okay. I don't know if we have a flag.
If we could all stand.
Yep.
I was going to say, we need to do a flag salute.
Yep.
Okay.
It's over there. Hold on, I think we got somebody else coming in again.
That's probably Chris.
Yep. It's Jerry.
Oh, here.
Yep. We're just ready to do the flag salute. Go ahead, Charity.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States
of
of
the
America.
United States of America
And
and
to the republic for which it
for
stands.
which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible.
indivisible,
With liberty and
with
justice. for-
liberty and justice for all.
Okay,
Oh, that was painful.
so, yeah, it was. Okay, I'm gonna put Jerry is here too. Thanks for coming, Jerry. Chris said that she was on her way, St. Germain, so she should be here any minute, but we can go ahead and start if you would like.
No, she
Yep,
was.
if we could,
Chris is here.
okay. If we can do, if we have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Sorry.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. And any changes?
No,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And was there any public input for today?
no, other than Jerry will be joining part of our discussion.
Okay. So we'll move right on to discussion. Go ahead and jump in.
So Jerry, you're up.
Okay, I've gone through the paperwork on, we received 2 qualified bids. One for 1.2 million with $117,000 to finish the other 2 classrooms from Mangum Construction. And then we received another bid from Keniston. And it was for $1,612,000 with $138,000 to finish the second classroom. So I reviewed both. They're both qualified bids. Talked to the parent low bidder was Mangum Construction, and I would recommend, subject to your discussion going forward with that selection. There's some things that, few little details that we have to probably discuss going forward. There's a little bit of testing that takes place that we need to do that usually is the owner's responsibility. And that's mainly the soil, and we have some anchors that we have to put in that they inspect. And that can't be done by me. It's got to be done by an independent inspector. And we think that'll probably be all west out of Lewiston.
Can we
Probably.
use the Soil Conservation District soil scientist?
I don't think so, not for what we're doing.
Okay.
So they, I can't, I don't know for sure if they have the equipment. If they do construction testing, then probably yes. If it's just, I know they could probably do soils analysis pretty well, but I don't know about the compaction testing. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Because that site's been disturbed at one or 2 times in its lifetime. It's always a good thing to kind of get one last little test on it.
So it's not a full geotech, it's just a compaction test?
It's just they go up there, you kind of get both. Because they come in there and they look at it and they decide what kind of soil it is. So you kind of get both things. I think it's a lot better way to go. We design towards a basic level and where you don't have to do testing, but we still like to do the follow-up testing because I won't go into a big deep thing, but you can go and put fill in and it doesn't matter how many years it's been there. If it was put in wrong, it's still going to be wrong no matter what. So anyway, it's got to be brought up and compacted with a certain moisture content and everything brought up to the level. So anyway, and then I talked to Mike a little bit about, maybe a little bit more, some protection on the electrical for surge protection on the front, on the front end of our service there. I think it can probably be had fairly inexpensively. recommend looking at that anyway, and we'll bring that before the board. You know, anything that we do on changes or anything, the board will be aware of that, and we'll bring it forward so we have time to look at it and make decisions and things.
And just a little bit of a side note on that, we were discussing all of our facilities having that. We've been having issues with surges, with power surges from Avista and, you know, trees down, those type of things. And they're not standing for any kind of damages we have, and our insurance company, it's a battle. So if we could do a little protection up front, I think would save us a lot of angst and a lot of money in the long run.
It is one of those things where an ounce of protection and an ounce of cost can really pay off for you in the long run.
Could we wrap it up into a package deal and get every facility?
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about, getting everything kind of together and really getting some prices on that, looking overall across the district.
I think,
Ballpark, how much is it?
well, for the little elementary, for wrapping all those buildings up in our little elementary buildings, I'm thinking it's probably going to be, the actual device is around $900. So I'm just going to guess and double it, $1,800 for that. But the high school is on its own different breaker and everything else like that. But the state-of-the-art company is actually in Coeur d'Alene. So I'm wondering if we can maybe get them to help us out. I mean, they've helped me out so far a little bit, but I think, you know, have them kind of do an overall recommendation for, you know, your facilities, you know, and so there's different levels of this surge protection. You can do it, you know, the first level is right at the service. The second level is downstream, you know, and I'm sure that everybody has those on their computers. That would be more of a secondary protection, but you can even have another level above that as well. So, but anyway.
It's something we need to probably, like I said, look into in all of our facilities.
It's not huge dollar amount.
Right.
I did speak to the,
So
yes.
a quick question going back to the soil inspection, and then how much would that cost, especially if anything has to be done to the soil? You guys were talking about moisture levels, and if something had to be done, what are we looking at?
We don't know until you actually look at it.
Start getting deeper.
You know, I mean, you know, if we get in there and there's something horrible where we end up there and it's just muck or something like that, I don't expect that. But, you know, the things that I probably expect, because when, you know, when the modulars were there for a while, I think that there might be some things that, you know, it'd be just good to get you know, they come up there and they do a test, and, you know, the testing part of it's not too expensive, and they'll go ahead and they'll want to have that compacted no matter what. So that wouldn't be any additional. The part where you get into it is where you have to go and dig it up, blend it up, or actually add some base rock into it. That's typically what happens to bring it up to spec anyway, so it meets compaction. And the good part of it is we have a little bit of flat work, but not a lot, you know, so under the slabs. So that would be one part, but definitely we have that ramp coming down next to the existing elementary building there, and that for sure is probably going to be a one where we might want to, that's usually a known culprit for not getting backfilled perfectly, I guess. So, but we'll follow their recommendations of what to do. That's usually how it works. So I'm going to be optimistic about it. So I think it'll probably be all right.
Jerry, are we talking 10 grand?
No.
Okay, less than?
Yeah.
Okay, less than 10 grand. And so in talking to some of the local people through this whole process, it sounds to me like maybe there's some scrap concrete that got put in there to make that fill. Yeah, so there might be, I mean, in my mind, I'm seeing, you know, possible big chunks and it should have settled by now. It's been so long, but apparently that has a hodgepodge of
stuff in there.
material.
They use for film.
Well, the one thing about it is we are excavating it out for a crawl space.
Right.
So
You'll find that.
And, you know, if we find stuff like that that's not supposed to be there, we usually dig it out and fill it back in with gravel. So
How much of the excavation for the pads and all that is included in the bid?
it's all in there.
It's all included. Okay.
So it's
But-
just the added
Just the
$10,000-ish
added
for
for
the
the-
compaction testing.
Right.
If there's
Okay,
anything
unless we
like,
find something funky.
if we find concrete in there, we'll pull it out probably and backfill with crushed rock.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously settled. Oh,
Mhm.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
how long have they been there since the early 90s, right?
Yeah, I think, weren't those trailers? Do you remember, Russell, what we decided on that?
I don't remember.
It's been a while.
Was that school 92?
Might have been. Well, I can't remember. I know that, out there,
That the junior high was built somewhere
on
around
the
that.
west end of
time.
those trailers, there was a lot of gravel fill there, so we don't know that's probably where they're talking about. But the rest of it's been asphalt for quite a
Long
while.
time,
right.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's under there.
So did that
Yeah.
building get constructed when they were consolidated, Russell?
The building was built for the junior high,
Oh, okay.
so it was quite a bit before the consolidation.
Prior to, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll just have to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
normal
just see what-
construction.
But I'm just.
Yeah.
I did speak to the low bidder, Mangum, this morning a little bit and talked to him about it. And I said, one of our local concrete guys wasn't able to bid on it because of his schedule, but sometimes that changes if they, so we'd like to maybe talk to a few, and I'll talk to Chris a little bit. We know some concrete folks. And so does Mike, and maybe we can exert some leverage.
So on that note, what the public works licensing requirement, I've been after one young contractor to get that for years and years. Is there a way to fold him in under Magnum somehow to?
He works as an employee. That's how it works.
Okay, so we could.
Possibly.
Okay, all right.
We can make the introduction and see if they,
Yeah, yeah.
to see if
Okay,
it,
all right.
if it jives with them and they can work it out. But one of our main
So
guys, go ahead.
another question I had was, we talked about some supplies, timber supplies and things that have been donated. How much will come off this price based on those donated supplies for our actual cash outlay?
We excluded that from the contract.
Oh, you excluded that. I thought it was part of the contract. Okay.
Oh, no.
Nope.
Nope. It's better to do it this way, to exclude it. And,
Okay.
And then that way they knew. I think last time we had it where it was sort of ambiguous a little bit, where we might get some donations or we don't. We've got a commitment now, so at least everybody's on the same page.
So do we have an explanation why they're 30% higher than our estimate?
COVID-19 supply chain issues and everybody's busy. Everybody's moving to Idaho. Everybody's moving, out of the big cities.
I mean, just wanting bigger profit? I'm just, bottom line, is he just wanting to walk away with 300 grand in his pocket? Is that what this is, or?
No.
I doubt it, Charity. He was one of the more thoughtful question asking individuals in the walkthrough in round one, and did not bid. And we are under where we came in round one
Yeah, we are.
significantly. So I don't think it's a profiteering thing here. I think, like Jerry said, I know electricians, we got a 5-day bid guarantee recently on a project. And it's just, there's a lot of supply chain issues right now.
So along with that, we're encouraging the contractors, the subcontractors to order their materials
Locally.
as soon as possible, so they can lock it in. And then we will perform inspections at their warehouse with the manifests and everything else of what they're doing. So we can have that all ready to go for when we start construction.
So do we know whether Magnum went to Orofino Builders? Because I know Will was very interested in helping to the best of his ability around cost for materials.
I do not think he did. He may have, but I don't know that. But certainly, I think they probably used Early Bird is probably what they did, more than likely. So
We had something in the bid solicitation about that. Encouraging local, we can't.
we can't really. it's kind of a fine line of what you can do and what you can't do. So
Can we, if we award, could we get a hold of Magnum and strongly encourage him to communicate with Will and see if we can realize any cost savings?
yes.
Okay.
We can ask.
And
Is there
I-
any wording in the contract that if there are further cost savings that they go back to us?
No.
Okay.
So essentially, if he went to Builder Supply and they gave him a cost break on the materials, that would just add to his bottom line. But in turn, it would support a local.
I know him. I
Unless
know
there was
this
some
guy.
goodwill, unless there was some goodwill associated.
I think that this contractor is really, really honest. And I mean,
Yeah.
he really is.
With the high school.
So anyway,
Not Will,
Not Lou, oh,
different
different, different contractor, okay.
Yeah. Not Will.
anyway, I think that there were some savings that way. If we brought that up to him, I think he would do it. We would still, whether we add to the contract or subtract from the contract, it's a change order process. So we would have to decide whether if we're just gonna do the base bid amount and leave the bid option off, although it's a pretty nice price to do the whole thing, to get 4 instead of 2.
Is it appropriate for me to ask?
Yeah, I did feel like
Will?
the,
Sorry,
go ahead.
is it appropriate for me to text Will Crockett and see if they were engaged in bidding on
No,
materials?
let's not muddy the water that way. I'll handle the communication with the contractor and be the best thing to do, and then that way, and then I'll be your intercede between for the board that way.
Well,
So,
right.
so we have the dollars, right? We have, just over $2 million in the ESSER funds that we can dedicate towards this build, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
How
So
long
the-
do those ESSER funds last?
So
Is there an expiration on them?
there is, it's on here. Actually, the ESSER 3 discretionary, which is 1.486 right now, is 9/30 of 24.
Mm.
And the ESSER 2 is 9/30 of 23, which is 663,000. Now the ESSER 2 has more strings attached to that. And when I mean strings, we can use it for ventilation systems, like HVAC systems. We can probably do a lot of the electrical and those type of things through that ESSER 2 grant, to expend some of those dollars down that leave. And then the ESSER 3 is all discretionary. So that was money we can use for anything. So I'd like to piecemeal some of that out of that ESSER 2. That's save some of that for other things, other discretionary items. So,
Yeah, we will have a schedule of values that tells us how much of the categories that we have spent for electrical, mechanical, and things like that. So if there's some fine detail that you need out of that for the grant,
Yep.
there are some rules and regulations, let us know.
Yep. And there will be, and we can certainly, Brittany's become an expert at that, so we can get the details we need. And I think we can, I would prefer not to use all of it because we are still using some of that for some of our HVAC systems we're currently using, and
Right.
that's kind of a piece. But I think we could take some of that weight off of that a little bit with that ESSER 2.
But even so, we're not exceeding the
No.
1.4 that
Correct.
we had basically intended to set aside
Correct.
for this project. So,
Correct.
we're still gonna be in good
Yeah.
shape.
And our fund balance is still sitting, at 2.5, and obviously at any given time that fluctuates, but that was a snapshot in time. We've increased our fund balance a little bit over the last several years. So
and that excludes these dollars.
it's absolutely separate from that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, we've got the money to do it. We've got in excess of the money to do it. If we don't do it, it's gonna cost us. It's
Right.
gonna cost us money to try to put modulars or do whatever we have, all that stuff, but we don't want to do that.
This is
So
our,
this is our shot, I
this is
think.
our last place to put all of our kids under a hard structure.
Yep.
And that's,
And once we have it, we have it.
it's a
It's
big
there.
investment, but it's a
It's there,
long-term
yeah.
investment.
I think it's gonna be a great addition to the
Oh,
campus. It's gonna be really nice.
I think so too.
So we're in discussion, right? Not
Yes,
action.
correct. Yep.
We're just talking
Yep.
about.
Yeah, no, you're good.
A question for you. Would you tell me again, Mike, how much is in the ESSER two funds?
Yes, in the ESSER two fund, currently we have 663,000.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then in ESSER three, the discretionary, we have 1.486, Greg.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And like I said, we've been able to use those for like updating bathrooms and, central air, HVAC systems, those type of things. So we can take that out of that ESSER two pretty easily because it does have more parameters on it than the ESSER three.
Right.
So anything we can pull out of there will
Like
be
a surge protection
Yeah.
district-wide.
So anything we can do with that, we will use out of that. And that leaves us that other discretionary or whatever.
Because we're gonna be in good shape.
I think so too. Yeah.
It-
And this is money that, this is grant money and it's made to really kind of replace some of the shortfalls that we've had from the state.
Right.
And we've been able to work through that. So we'll hope that the legislators continue to support us.
And did I see that the legislators did agree to change to
The state,
enrollment?
state board.
Oh, okay, the state board has.
State
Okay.
Board of Education has. So that's a plus for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah. Jared's
Yes.
done a good job of getting this all together. So.
Make sure I
Yeah,
don't
thank
run
you,
you water.
Do you have to make a motion or anything
Yeah,
like
We have
that?
to get to another
Yep.
section to do that.
Okay.
So any further, I was just gonna ask, any further discussion, or are you guys ready to move on to action items?
I'm good.
Yeah, move on.
Okay, so we'll move on to action item number 1, Timberline classroom build bids. Do I have a
Madam
motion?
Chair, I move that we accept the base bid and bid option A from Magnum Construction for an amount of $1,322,000.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the Timberline elementary classroom addition from bidder Mangum to include the base bid and Mangum, right?
Yep.
Mangum. To include the base bid amount plus option A for $1,322,000. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Did we get a second?
Yeah.
2 seconds. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry, I
We
was
already
writing.
did yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I was writing.
Motion in a second, yep.
I'll
Okay.
make sure I have.
Okay.
Sorry.
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So you're good to go? And
Yep.
then
Just need to get,
anything,
I just wondered, I've got to draft a contract up. So maybe we can iron out a few of these little things and then maybe we may have to have a little email exchange or
Okay.
something like that with the board
Okay.
to kind of find out what the finer details with some of the issues that you were mentioning.
Okay.
And
well, we can't really do emails with the board. That doesn't work.
it doesn't work. Okay.
No, we can't do it that way. Anything
Well, I know
that
you're
you
gonna have to
do
get
with the
together
board
to
has
sign
be in
it.
public
Right,
input.
but just to look at
Right.
the drafts.
So
of that.
the January meeting is on the 15th. Can
10th.
it be done at that time?
It's on the 10th.
Or the 10th, right? It's early this year. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's as soon as you could get under contract with them. We could do an intent to award. How about that?
Yep.
And with them right now, I think,
I think, to me, contract wise.
contract wise, and then.
Yeah, I think that's, since we
That
have a motion
is not
that's
good, yeah.
accepted that,
Yeah.
and then the details will work out.
Because I think that you'll have to be together on the 10th to sign it then,
To
won't
sign
you?
it, yeah.
So
So.
maybe it's just better that we just go ahead and act on the amount that it is now
Yes.
and then do it by change order.
Yes.
That would be
That would
better.
probably be the sensible way to do it. So,
And
I agree.
typically on a contract, the board chair has signing privileges of the entire board since it's been a motion. So we
okay.
can have Charity sign that for the contract to intent to do the contract with the intention of what the price was. And then if there's anything else that comes up as a change order, we'll do that at, our monthly meetings or whatever we need to do. So
Okay.
we can communicate on that and we can coordinate.
Look at it.
Right, but
And I can send it out there, but make sure they look at it.
I think the safest bet is contractually and legally is just to go ahead and award on that amount.
Yep.
And contract on that amount, and then any adjustments.
Yep. I think that's good.
We'll do it that way. And then I can certainly bridge that question about Orofino Builder Supply and if you could maybe put some pressure on the guy with the initial CT to see if we can get or something, or other options anyway.
I have another option.
Is that Josh? Oh, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
we can talk about that offline.
Okay.
So just a question, matter of process, Madam Chair. We have a motion and approved. Jerry will be drafting a contract. We can just get that to you to sign, correct? Without having it on the
Correct.
agenda on the 10th?
Yes, it's already been approved.
Correct.
Okay, excellent.
It's already been
Thank you.
approved, so I just signed based on this motion and approval today.
Excellent.
Okay, I think we're all on the same page.
I just wanted that clarification for you so that you knew,
Yep.
yes, you're not waiting for the 10th.
Perfect.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yay.
Have an awesome Christmas, Papa.
Yep.
I am. Yeah. Got
So
a new
next meeting is
grandson
the
first
10th.
Christmas.
Oh, fun.
We're gonna slip out.
I think are we
Okay,
good?
so I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting and then you guys can visit. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.